This is an experimental prototype. Don't use it for production sites. Drupal Starshot. Starshot is Drupal 10, but supercharged with some of the best modules and themes out there, set up in useful ways to help you get started building a site right away. Starshot is built on the Drupal recipe system, so it doesn't lock you in like a normal distribution would. You can learn more about Starshot on Drupal.org. Installation Composer create for Drupal Starshot project. -repository type vcs.github.com/phenaproxima/starshot-prototype. This one command will install Starshot and open it in a web browser for you to play with. You'll get all the modules and themes listed below pre-configured. If you use ddev, you can get Starshot up and running with this. Git clone https://github.com/phenaproxima/starshot-prototype.git starshot cd starshot and in ddev install. You'll need ddev 1.23.0 or later. See the documentation if you need to upgrade. Included modules and themes: address antibot, coffee diff, focal point, geolocation, field, gin toolbar, honeypot, linkit, media entity, download media file, delete meta tag, path auto, quick node, clone redirect scheduler, simple sitemap, smart date, ULI custom workflow web form, and of course, Drush. What this gets you: useful content types already set up for translation, meta tags, pretty URLs, moderation, and scheduling. A standard set of media types with some enhancements, setting an image's focal point, for example, or better linking to uploaded documents. An amazingly full-featured platform for building web forms with anti-spam protection. A much nicer administrative experience than you'd get with plain Drupal, based on the gin theme, plus the navigation and coffee modules. Basic niceties: an XML sitemap, better date and time fields, the ability to set up redirects, better handling of files on disk, the ability to clone content, comparing different versions of content, some sample content so you're not starting from nothing. Who this is for: anyone who wants to create a website with Drupal but doesn't want to build it, including the authoring experience, from the ground up using the relatively bare-bones tools provided by Drupal core. You need extra modules to get the most out of Drupal, but it can be hard to know how to start. Starshot's purpose is to get you going with the most useful tools favored by the Drupal community as quickly and easily as possible. How is this different from a distribution? Distributions are based on install profiles and therefore have a lock-in effect. If you start a site on a distribution, you can't really stop using that distribution, at least not easily. Starshot uses recipes to give you a strong starting point, but there is no lock-in. We don't quite support this yet, but you'll also be able to use Starshot's components on an existing site too. That's the power of recipes. How we choose which modules and themes to include. Right now it's pretty much, let's add whatever we think is useful for most people. We're working on defining a policy and process for this. If you have an idea for a module to include, by all means open an issue. Known issues and workarounds. Server timeout. Some users might experience a timeout after logging into Starshot, particularly when the PHP web server remains idle for some time. You may see an error like this: the process test and endl CI composer Drupal run server exceeded the timeout of 300 seconds. If you encounter this, you can restart the server using the following command: composer Drupal run server.